Hello everyone. So this part of the video, I'll be walking you guys through on how to fetch all the data that's coming from the Supabase uh, table, which we have just created called users table, and that table will be having multiple set of data of users. So what are we going to do right now is that we're going to fetch all the data that are coming from that particular table, users table, in the form of API, JSON API, and we'll be making sure that we must be able to destructure that JSON API, and then we can make it into an repeatable array of data that can be used inside our table, inside a table that we're gonna create. So that's the next plan that that's the next step that we're gonna make right now. So first of all, let's go to our, we are in app.js file here. So inside app.jsx here, we're gonna add a table, HTML code here. So in this case, it's gonna be a table like this, and it's gonna be in a tag, open and closing tag like this. And inside table, I'll be having two more tags. One is for t-height like this, t-height like this, should be like this, and below t-height should be and t-body, by the way. Okay, like this. So t-height and t-body will be having the, this is how we are able to differentiate between the head and the body of the table. So inside our head of the table, we're gonna have the type, we're gonna have the name of the columns, for example. So in order to do that, we need to be having row first. So tr should come first. So inside the row, we're gonna have, of course, we can say tr first. So inside tr is going to be the row, the name of the, it's going to be a row, and that row will be having three columns, and those three columns we're gonna have a th. We're gonna call it th, by the way. Those three columns are called, first of all, it's going to be id, okay, followed by the second thing. The second column should be the name. Of course, it's like exactly the same as the Supabase table we have just created. And let me just open. Okay. Okay, meanwhile it's opening, let's go at the third column, which is going to be age, like this. Okay, so currently at the moment, let's click and save, and let's see what are the changes here. As you can see, the changes is, has been made here, but it's not very, I've made it into a table. But so what can we do is that we can actually go to our, okay, so currently we are at our app.jsx, and we have just created this table here. So what we're gonna do here is that, as you can see here, this ID, name, age is all actually because it's actually centered. The reason why, because of the index here. Index, we have made it the body to be centered, and as you can see here, margin 0, display flex, all these items are actually listed here are actually making this thing, this particular table to be going to keep it as it is, because it's just for educational purposes. We're not going to make an actual project yet. It's just to learn on how to make a table. So in that table, we'll be having these three columns: it's ID, name, and age. So that way, the next thing is that we also need to have a styling, a specific styling just for the table here. Let's go to our app.css, and I'm just going to place it like this. So in this case, inside app.css, we're going to be heading the styling for table. So in this case, I'll have to say table. Okay, and that table will be having a set of like styling way to actually make it looks like an actual table that should be having a qualities of a good table, that, for example, such as it's supposed to be collapsible, and which means that it should be how to say, react, you should be sensitive to responsiveness, and those are things that makes a good table. So let's add some styling here. As you can see here, we have table. So the first thing is going to say border collapse. So border collapse will be the one that will be able to make it responsive, make it like a responsive, it's going to be collapse. Okay, so the next thing is that after we have put border collapse, we need to have a maximum width. So in this case, actually it can be a maximum width that comes along with, that should be fitting your screen size. In this case, it's going to be 900 pixels. The next thing is that I will be adding just a width. The width will be having, I'll be filling this 100% percentage of width that should be able to fit the whole maximum width of 900 pixels. The next thing is it's going to be having I will be having margin, just so that we are able to give some spacing in between the table is basically like around margin around the table of 2 rem, and it should be auto, and this to make it the center. So I like to save it everything like this, and that's the first step here. This is just for the table styling. Once you're able to save this, the next thing is that I would like to make it specifically for tables, the TH and TD, which is the will be the one that I'll be making it to for columns. So in this case TH, and it also should be a table for TD. So basically this is the styling for columns, by the way. And let's click like this, make it open the thing. And I would like to have borders, so border will be should be applied everywhere. And in this case I have to say 1 pixel solid, and in this case gonna be yeah, I'll be having a triple D, basically gray color. And next thing is padding. This padding will be for meant for the in the spacing inside a particular cell. So that's what I'm doing. So it's going to be 8 pixels. So let me click save, and there you go. Now you are having a so so as you can see here, the design is actually not very nice, and because there's some problem going here with index.css, we won't be needing any of this, by the way. We're just gonna remove all those things, just gonna save everything, and there you go. And of course, and this is how it should look like. So index.css is like not necessary. We can comment everything whatever inside index.css. We'll be only using app.css, by the way. And yeah, that's it. That's the first step here. We're gonna save everything, and then we're gonna close app.css. So the next thing I have to add is, we have already added the head. Okay, yeah, this is the head, by the way. The next thing is going to be the T body. So T body is going to be almost the same as T head that we just made. It's going to paste it like this. Just going to make it, yeah, just going to make it. Okay, so but then there's the difference is I'm going to make the TH. I'm going to change all of this by selecting all of this, by the way, to TD. Okay, so by TD I just made them to TD instead. I have to click save, and there's difference going on here. The one in the TH is actually bold, and while the one in the D is not bold. So that's a difference between the one in the top here, TH, and the one in the bottom here, T body. So that's the thing. That's the thing that I would like to show for the basic UI of how to create a table, just the front end part. The next part is to actually we're gonna make use of the users table, the users data, which we have fetched using the fetch users function we have created here, which we had just used Supabase in our previous video here. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna call this set users. I mean, we have already called it. It has already been set inside this users variable like this, and we're gonna make use of this particular users data, and then just gonna make it like a repeatable group of yeah, rows. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do here. So in this case, so since as you can see here, all this thing actually is already a dummy data here. So what we're gonna do here, instead of tr, I'll be making it like I'll be like wrapping this around a curly braces like this. Okay, so yeah, just make some space. Make something, and I'm gonna make it map. I mean, sorry, before that I need to call this users here. Okay, so it's gonna be users dot map. Okay, it's going to be a function, a map function. So that inside the map function is going to be an arrow function also. So it's going to be, so inside the map function I'll be calling all of this thing. Okay, okay. Of course, I need to place this tr, everything inside tr here. I'm going to place it right inside here. Okay, I'll be placing it right here like this, and I'm just going to make it indent a bit inside. Okay, just make it indent like this, and also this one should be intended to be inside a bit more. The next thing is that, okay, since I'm calling the users, that I need to be filling this particular bracket with the name of the object. So in this case I'm just going to say user. So because we are actually going through every single data of the users, so when I'm doing every single, so it's going to be user, it's going to be calling user every single time, a one particular user. So in this case, when I'm calling the user, I'll be calling their data. So in this case I'll be calling user dot id. So that's the first one. Like this is basically coming from your Supabase CRUD here. So as you can see, I have the table called users table. So I have just one element here, which is ID, name, age, which is just my data here, this one dummy data here. So I'm just gonna make it. I'm just gonna call this data in this to inside here, inside this table. So in this case, I'll have to make it like user, like, yeah, call it user dot name. So that's a second thing. The third thing will be the age, by the way. So user dot age. Okay, so I'll have to click save. Let's go here, and there you go. You have it. You just you're all you have to do, just need to meet, just gonna call it the function that you have just fetched. I mean, yeah, you have fetched this particular API, and if yeah, I mean, you have fetched this particular data that's coming from Supabase in the form of JSON API, and then you set it to your set users variable, which is called users, and then we're directly taking that variable, and then we're just mapping it through like this. So that's the way how are we able to make a simple table, a fetch response here, because we have already covered this particular fetch code here in the previous video. You can actually look in that video also. So the next thing is that let's give it a check on how are we able to make how to say, like, a change to this particular table whenever when we make. So I mean, whenever when we add a particular how do you say, yeah, whenever when we add a particular row, as you can see, I'll have to add another row here. This case it's going to be an automatic ID. We don't need to do anything. And the next thing is that I like to say, I mean, to put a name called, a second name called John Doe. Okay, so John Doe, and then this his age is going to be 24, just 1 year older than me. Click save, and there you go. You've already have created that particular record of that person here. And as you can see here, there's no connection here yet, but we can just click on refresh. So as you can see, when I click on refresh, I was able to get this particular second data that's coming directly from the supabase.com as well. And before that, I think I might miss this particular part of the video, where you need to actually import app.css file here. It's a CSS file which we are supposed to be calling it inside our top here, so that you're able to see the styling differences. Because I mean, if you don't have this particular line of code, you might not be able to view this particular style of this CSS. Or let's see if I comment this, and you might, and you'll only be able to see like this here. So it's really important to import your app.css file, and that's it. I think we are able to move on with here. So this is the end of this part of the video, where I just need to walk you guys through on how to actually to fetch data that's coming directly from this Supabase here. And once we have fetched, the next thing is to actually destructure that particular fetched data, which is in the form of API, and destructure it and make it into a reusable, like a reusable data that can be used to map through this particular table. So, and that's the thing, and that's it for this part of the video. Let's meet up in the next part, where I'll be walking guys through the next method, which is to fetch, which is to, I mean, now it's fetch. The next thing is to actually, we need to post the data to the particular Supabase table. So thank you guys for watching till here, and let's meet in the next video. Thanks.